Joining us now is OjyOkpe with stories trending around the world. Hello, Junix.
You just made a crack up. Good morning, Dr. Abati. How are you this morning? Good. All right. Soon we'll get a revision of this, your legendary introduction. I think we have to make a compilation of this.
You have to buckle it
put it in a good place.
We do skits. We do skits for the town.
Skit makers. How are you, Rufai? Good morning, Ayo.
We do skits for you.
Good morning, Ayo.
We shop your application next month.
We have it.
Dr. Abati's birthday is next month. We are going to shop his application. We are going to... Oji, you are going your application.
I don't understand.
Award.
Good morning, how are you?
Broadcaster award application.
Don't worry.
Hey,
I'm always up to the task. Always up. Too much cruise on the morning
Dr.
show.
I'm fasting from now to your birthday.
I'm always having fun.
Anyway, I trust your lovely wife. She will deliver.
Okay.
That woman is a blessed woman of God.
Kike Lomo, listen.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, all right. Can we begin what's trending? Okay, this is part of what's trending as always. No, it's Dr. Abati. Well, all right. Well,
is it a birthday of my own?
All of you done. What God has done together, let no man put us. Yeah, go ahead, Oji. I'm sorry.
Rufa is having too much fun. Well, all right. Well, let's begin what's trending by taking reactions to comments made by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who on Tuesday said that Nigerian motorists can now purchase a litre of petrol at 1,000 Naira per litre and a standard cubic meter of compressed natural gas at 200 Naira. The president made the comment when he met with the executives of the Nigerian Independent Petroleum Company. The president also noted that the federal government has introduced incentives for commercial motorists to convert from petrol to gas free of charge. That we know because, Rufai, we have taken a lot of these stories on what's trending about all of the CNG, even the tricycle that was distributed in your state, Rufai, Ogun State, only just, I believe, last week. We know that the government has made strides in these CNG distribution. But that comment about 1,000 Naira per litre of petrol, Ayo, please, where do you buy petrol at 1,000 Naira?
I don't know. I'd like to know.
Yeah.
So that
Dr. Abati, what about you? How much is petrol?
Are you saying your president is not telling the truth?
Sells petrol for 1,000
Naira per litre. What about Rufai?
You pay more.
You pay more. How much did you buy, really?
1,100.
1,150.
It's a place you 1,200.
1,000. Right.
If you want to avoid queue, you buy 1,200.
Okay, so I mean, we need to understand.
The president. He doesn't go to the fuel station.
Oh, is that what it is? Oh, okay. All right. Well, all right. Let me take reaction. I mean, he's the president, so Nigerians will listen, and they're hoping to buy petrol for 1,000 Naira per litre. Let me take this tweet from Toda, who wrote, widespread CNG adoption by motorists could lead to increased demand, potentially driving up prices. There should be insurance policies in place to protect third parties from potential damage or harm caused by explosions of retrofitted CNG-powered vehicles. I believe that was a good advice, but let me take this actual reaction, which is what a lot of people are talking about. This is from BJ, who wrote, very soon, CNG will go the way of LPG gas with a very high cost. We moved from kerosene just because it was deregulated. Gas was so cheap then, but people were afraid of explosion. But they moved to gas and boom, price began to go up from 290 Naira per kg to 1,500 Naira per kg. Now, so is that. Now, so it is that. I mean, I think that's the comment for the 200 Naira for CNG. Ayo, your comment.
All right, so this is going back to, I haven't seen anywhere just to establish that 1,000 Naira doesn't exist. Yesterday, I bought for 1,070 Naira, and there was a place where they sold for 1,200. And so the way we entered the station, we came out of the station as we saw the price. But in saying that, there's a lot of merit to the tweet you just read, and that is how prices go up, and as it's traditionally said, once prices go up, it never comes down. First of all is that the availability of the CNG conversion centers or the CNG conversion kits haven't even yet been sufficient. So this presidential CNG initiative hasn't been very successful if we're being honest. What they had said was it wasn't 1 million CNG vehicles by the end of this year or by early next year. We haven't seen that happen. So already there's scarcity. And what happens when there's scarcity? Prices go up because people are looking at, okay, everybody wants to go to CNG cars or use CNG buses because it will be cheaper. And then what happens then? prices will go up. So again, it's the management, it's the preparation of this government to manage the reforms that they introduced, which is insufficient. I don't know how it will work, but people are even saying that beyond CNG, how about electric vehicles? Are we even ready for electric vehicles? Because that's where the world has moved to.
Yeah.
But let's hope that this CNG initiative, presidential CNG initiative, will finally be successful, and the Nigerians will be able to get cheaper access to transportation because the costs have come down. But at the moment, it's not happening.
Yeah,
and what they have said is very valid.
I know, Rufai,
Yes.
you have a CNG vehicle. I always want you to have a little input in these conversations because you have that experience. How is it getting your car filled up really quickly?
What I still do is I still go all the way to around that Agidingbi, not Agidingbi now, the mobile just after LTV. That's where I think that's Agidingbi. That's where I get CNG. I mean, you were telling me about that. There's one in Shangote that I've not tried.
You haven't seen the Shangote?
I've not seen the Shangote. So, number one problem, Oji, the stations are not pervasive. You don't have them. Please, you can tell me if you've seen a CNG station in VI. I've not seen anyone. That's just it. So you need to be able to ramp up those stations. Secondly, the conversion is still a big problem. Because see, for you to convert a 4-plug engine, it's set you back 1.2 million naira. Oji, in this economy, how many people have that 1.2 million naira? In an economy where 98% of the population does not have up to 500,000 naira in their bank account, according to NDIC.
Yeah.
Thirdly, all right, the availability is also another challenge, and the state of play as regards the economy of CNG.
I have a question.
Pervasively, what I still do most of the time is, because it's still a stretch, I still have to buy petrol because my car can use petrol and CNG because it's not readily available.
It is not.
So when they say ramping up, yes, recently also, in fairness, they put out the 10 billion loan. But how many people with the 10 billion will be able to go around as regards getting? So if they can ramp it up, at least we can get 1 to 2 to 3 million cars.
You know, the questions on Twitter, maybe you can also answer that, is about the price of cooking gas versus the CNG as well. I mean, is it the same relatively, or
it can't be the same because the compressed natural gas is different from
the cooking gas one. So why are people asking and comparing that together?
So why people are asking and comparing that is this. See, the truth is because they are looking at the gas thing. But LPG is different from CNG.
Great.
That's just it. So we should be able to know that.
Yeah.
LPG is different from compressed natural gas. I think what they should do is to ramp up this. But I also know it comes with a lot of money. I hear to install a CNG filling station. I think it will set you back hundreds of thousands of dollars. You know, government needs to now put more investment in place. But most importantly, the major solution will be an energy mix.
Fantastic.
CNG.
That's the main point.
You know, electric vehicles and all of that and things like that.
Great energy mix. I mean, we would like to know where to buy petrol for 1,000 naira. So we'll need Nigerians are requesting for a response. Well, let's take another story. The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nysome Wike, on Tuesday, issued a warning to roadside beggars to desist from the act or risk being arrested by enforcement agents. Wike made the comments during the flag-off ceremony of a road construction. Well, later in the day, Wike ordered the immediate demolition of illegal structures at the Sabon Lugbe South District layout in the FCT when he paid an unscheduled visit to the site. He described the developers as land grabbers. Let's take a look.
Sir, thank you, sir. We are not land grabbers. We are developers. Developers, what about developers? We have papers. We have submitted this paper to the authority. Verifiable. Hold on now. Yes, sir. You submitted when you had your CFO. Approval is yes, sir. Yes. You had your CFO.
This is Leader Council.
This is Leader Council. Who told you? That's why you made it. Hey, keep quiet. If you are educated, every man in the city belongs to the
we know.
And that was why
now
when I sold land, this stuff they don't do anything. But yeah, we'll take our land. Not if you like, go and carry across. And the worst one is there across. Who told you we have across?
We did not harass you, sir. It's a lie, yo. We did not harass them, oh. It's a lie, yo. It is a lie, sir.
Yes. You know I won't listen to you. Because I'm taking the laws into your hand.
No, we never did.
We never did, sir.
It's a wrong information,
It's a wrong information.
Lisa, we don't even know the reason why.
Sir, it's okay. Sorry.
Who told you can talk?
Sorry, sir.
If you think that you take something, you are not the only one. You have to be careful. Stupid. Because I came there to talk to you. I don't need to talk to you.
Sorry, sir. Sorry, sir.
If you don't know what to do, don't bring their guns.
No, sir.
No, sir.
We have no guns.
No guns, sir.
Even tear gas, you can't see it with us.
Dr. Vati, you know I cannot comment because this is your story. Go ahead.
Anyway,
Land grabbers.
Well, the minister of the FCT, in whatever he does, should just make sure that it's fair. Because the people that are called land grabbers, they are also citizens. But there is procedure for getting land. If you are to get land in the Federal Capital Territory, you must have the papers, you must have the title, you must have gone through the allocation process and paid due, fees that should be paid. It's not for the minister, to engage people like a headmaster and telling people to shut up. Even if they had grabbed the land, there is a procedure, that should be followed. And yesterday was a very busy day for Headmaster Wike, because apart from his engagement with the land grabbers, I think he was also said to have issued a directive that beggars will be taken off the streets in Abuja with effect from October 27th. He has given them an ultimatum. Where these beggars, they are also products of the deprivation in Nigeria. In some other jurisdictions, the priority should be to care for them, should be to, maybe relocate them, rehabilitate them, provide opportunities for them. But, the minister was addressing the matter as if he's an emperor. Mm-hmm. If you come onto the street to beg for money, you constitute a security risk to the Federal Capital Territory, and the police will arrest you. Okay, if the police arrest beggars, what next? Because they are also citizens with fundamental rights under the Constitution. What should the FCT do for them to help them? But he did another good thing yesterday. He commissioned 40 quotas for judges of the Federal High Court in the Federal Capital Territory. Well, I think that's a very good thing. And he spoke well there about the welfare of judges and all of that. Of course, it would have been strange for him to go to the commissioning of the Federal High Court judges' quarters at Katampe and talk carelessly to the judges. I think he behaved himself very well there. But, telling people to shut up, it's not a good style.
I know. I mean, I'd like for your comment, Ayo, as well on this one in the FCT about this demolition. And he's ordering this immediate demolition without prior warning, without prior notice. What's going to happen to these people? We face this sort of conversation in Lagos as well.
Yeah. The face of leadership must be with compassion and must be knowing that you're dealing with human beings. You're not dealing with statues, or it's human beings. These are people. So yes, we want to see law and order. We want to see things being done properly. But the manner in which you carry things out can make a very big impact. He was given an example of a big organization that we all know, whereby he had dinner with them the night before, and by the next day he had revoked their COO.
Yes,
so if he invites you for dinner, be careful in case. I mean, I'm just joking about that.
No, but it's the truth. That's what happened. It was Julius
Berger. Yes, he said that they had dinner. Almost he said about. I mean, I think he was trying to reflect that there are no sacred cows.
Yes.
That even big organizations, but it's important that leadership must have a human face. We want you to do the right thing. We want you to enforce law and order, but we also want it to be done with heart. People are suffering.
Absolutely.
So we want people to not feel like they are in a draconian society where anything can happen. You can wake up one morning and your house is gone. There has to be a human face and compassion to leadership.
Well said, Ayo. All right, we'll take another story then. A former member of the House of Representatives, Faruk Ladan, was released from prison on Tuesday after serving his 5-year jail term over bribery charges. Faruk, who was the chairman of the House of Representatives ad hoc committee probing the multi-billion Naira petrol subsidy fraud in 2012, was convicted and sentenced to prison in 2021 for accepting a $500,000 bribe from Femi Otedola, then chairman of Xenon Petroleum and Gas Limited, in what was a sting operation from the businessman. Faruk posted a video which has now made the rounds on social media of the moment he left the Kuje Custodial Center in Abuja. Let's take a look. All right, Faruk posted that video singing praises to God. We know this story. He was supposed to spend, 7 years, and he was released. I believe he thought about gave him five years, and then he came out singing praises to God.
He left prison and he had to say, "I have not enjoyed my Range Rover."
Of course, but of course.
So
this subsidy scam, which is one of the biggest issues in recent times, is what the main issue is. What has happened to that ad hoc committee?
We all know what happened now. You remember Faruk was supposed to be that ray of hope.
Yeah.
That never was. This was the man that was supposed to investigate as regards that subsidy committee, but we now saw that emerge were those famous audio, my brother, and how they are going to manipulate and give him money. So he sold himself and he sold his conscience. And kudos to the boldness of Femi Otedola to be able to get that out of the way.
Yeah.
Because when you look at it, people like this, that's always the story of Nigeria. We know what finally happened. President finally set up the OjyOkpe committee that investigated it. It was as a result, after offshoot of that, they now said they would take the subsidy away from the oil markets, because formerly the regime was the oil marketers would bring in products and they would go and claim subsidies. And they said that system was being bastardized and corruption was filled in that system. And after the OjyOkpe committee, they resolved that, okay, afterwards, then definitely everything has to be with the NNPC now. But we all know the shenanigan that went on with the NNPC. So it's a cyclical problem. But Faruk was supposed to be that one that was different. But you can see how corruption eats into the system. And that's why I still believe strongly, Oji. Even when you look at the current play of state of petrol in this country, there's still a lot of corruption. If not the corruption, I still believe to a large extent Nigeria should be able to get some reprieve or some subsidies as regards to the state of play of the economy. But corruption eats up everything. Yeah. So it's finally gone, the court finally docked him. At least this was one person they docked. So when you say, when people bring down our judicial system, also look at cases like Faruk Lawan, because the law did, take its course, and he went to jail and served a jail term of 5 years. So, it's out now. Probably he will be able to move on with his life.
Move on with his life. A quick comment.
Faruk Lawan was a very vocal, very articulate member of the House of Reps in his time, representing the Bagwai Chanono constituency of Kano State. And he was chairman of the committee of the House of Reps at the time investigating petrol subsidy. That was also the time when the Jonathan administration set up the OjyOkpe committee to also look at the subsidy scam at that time. Now, the House of Reps committee, which Faruk Lawan chaired, came up with a list of 34 companies that were said to be involved in the subsidy scam. The story was that, he had approached Otedola for, a bribe of $3 million to take, to take out Zenon's name out of the list. And then he walked into a trap. He collected $500,000, which he hid in his babariga and his cap. And the rest is the story.
Yes,
he was convicted in 2021. He went to on appeal. Court of Appeal reduces charges, but still convicted him for 5 years imprisonment. And now he's out. What can we say to him? Congratulations. Because himself says, well, he thanks God that he has been able to survive this ordeal, this trial. Kuje Custodial Center is probably not the best of places for anybody to go and spend 5 years of their lives. Right. So congratulations to him. Number two, it shows that nobody is above the law. And that's also a very important message. So, but congratulations to him. Well, you are worried that he came out of prison, he jumped into a Prado Jeep. Well, it looks like it.
That looks like Range Rover.
Whatever it is, maybe. But in England, yesterday, people that were released from prison, under this new arrangement in the UK, they were saying, big up to Kestama. They brought Bentley and Rolls Royce to leave prison. And the paper said today that Kestama is embarrassed that these people that we just released to empty the prisons, they are going home and they're popping champagne and they are bringing a Rolls Royce to the prison.
All right, well, Dr.
So it happens others were too.
It does. Well, Dr. Mati, I hope lessons have been learned in this particular scheme. I mean, it is a big story out there and a good way that our justice system has put, these sort of high-profile individuals in prison and made our Nigerian system more transparent, hopefully.
Efficient.
Well, all right, efficient as well. We'll take another story. Well, Senate Majority Leader Oyellola Ashiru has denied drug possession allegations levied against him by the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency. The agency had alleged that it found drugs in the home of Ashiru and arrested 2 of his aides in 2023. NDLEA's allegation came after the senator representing Kwara South said the agency is the most corrupt and compromised government agency in the country. Well, on Tuesday, Ashiru said the NDLEA is attempting to undermine his privileges as a senator to speak on issues by making unfounded allegations. He claimed that he doesn't even drink alcohol. Let's take a listen.
I want to ascertain that in my life, I'm upward of 78 years now. I'm 68 years now. I assert that I cannot even identify what we call cannabis or any drug. Beyond taking water, I don't take alcohol. I don't take any drug. I don't even take carbonated drinks. These allegations are malicious, an attempt to undermine my credibility as a senator and impede my ability to freely participate in parliamentary debate. Your Excellency, I am of opinion that for the protection of myself as a member of this hallowed chamber, for the protection of the Senate and other senators, we must do something about it.
This man has denied these allegations, but we know that the Senate has set up an ad hoc committee to investigate this drug allegation, and very good for that. Yeah.
NDLEA was one who released the statement.
Yes.
So it all started last week when Senator Sumaila Kawu from Kano South, representing Kano South, had sponsored a motion asking for a drug rehabilitation, and that there was a pervasive problem of drug issues in Kano, and that even some senators housed illegal drugs and were also given to people during campaign season. Now, Senator Oyellola Ashiru then stood up and castigated NDLEA and said that, they were not an effective agency. Then the NDLEA came out to say that actually they raided his home, so I think in February of this year, and they found illicit drugs in his home. Now he's come out to defend himself. When number one, Senator Kawu made that statement, we said it here, that it should not go lying fallow. It should be investigated. The NDLEA has a responsibility to get to the end of this matter and not just make allegations back and forth. These are very serious allegations.
Absolutely.
If someone who is put in trust of the people to sit in the Senate as a senator and has been accused of having drugs, illicit drugs in his home, it shouldn't just end as accusations and counter-accusations. We should get to the bottom of this matter, and whoever is found culpable must face the books. We have a problem, a drug problem on our hands, young people who are addicted to drugs right from secondary school. So this is not just child's play. This is not just your word against mine. We need to see the end of this matter, and NDLEA has to substantiate its claims against Senator Oyellola Ashiru. I believe that should be done.
Well said, Ayo. All right, let's take another story then. The management of Rosebud School in Idimu, Lagos, has expelled 3 students whose father, Kola Wole, assaulted a teacher named Elizabeth Ogiri and a sanitary worker, Agnes Paul, on October 10th. Kola Wole's anger stemmed from his child being beaten without his consent. A viral video captured the disturbing moment showing Kola Wole physically assaulting Agnes Paul. I believe that, after Kolawole realized he was being filmed, he attempted to stop her at that moment, and, that whole rancor ensued. But I believe that he's been arrested at the moment. But, there's a conversation of whether or not, the students should have been expelled. But, I mean, taking laws into your own hands is absolutely not the way to go. Dr. Bati, 1 minute.
Well, this is not new. I once wrote a piece, the International School University of Lagos, where a father also went there with able-bodied men to beat up a teacher. That was many years ago. Some parents say, oh, don't touch my child. The school fees is so expensive. I pay so much to send my child to school, and then you want to discipline my child. Look, in our time, there was something called corporal punishment in school. And if you made any mistake in school, the teacher will beat you. If you get home, your mother gets to know or your father gets to know, they will give you additional punishment.
Dr. Bati, I don't agree with you on that one.
Well,
that is
I'm just telling you.
Out of order. No teacher should beat my child. And I do not beat my children.
Now.
That is absolutely uncalled for.
I'm telling you how it used to be. We had teachers who had Mr. Brown, Mr. White.
No, absolutely
and they will
wrong.
ask you to make a choice.
Absolutely wrong.
In any case,
I don't agree with that.
I think it's in order that the school has expelled the students. It's also in order that the man has been arrested for assault.
Yeah, well,
there are all kinds of parents in this society. There are parents like you who say, don't touch my child.
You can't touch my child, though. Absolutely not. I've said it.
But in our time,
No, it shouldn't
our
be.
parents will say the teacher is in charge.
There are other ways of punishment than to assault a child. End of story, Dr.
Okay.
End of story. Well, here is a story that will interest business travelers. According to a post by Global Index, Lagos State is predicted to be the most desirable city for businesses. By 2023, Lagos was placed higher than Cape Town, Riyadh, Johannesburg, Singapore City, Amsterdam, and Warsaw in a recent World Travel and Tourism Council research. The ranking was based on estimates of GDP and jobs directly produced by the travel and tourism industry in 82 key tourist states. Yay!
Okay, so I'm excited
about Lagos.
But the question is, what are the indices?
Yes.
If you say a place is a destination for travel, you must have, what is the urban mass transport system like?
Yeah.
What are the road infrastructure
I think they have
like?
the red line, right?
What are the sanitary infrastructure like? So all the other areas we need to work on, we also need to work on it.
Fantastic.
To be able to make it a very good destination.
Rufai, but you wanted to say something about the child being beaten quickly.
No. Oji, I subscribe to your school of thought that they shouldn't beat a child. Also, I think the school should also have a method of correcting children, which doesn't have to be
There are so many ways of correcting
many methods that can be used to correct.
Absolutely.
But I also understand Dr. Bati's school of thought. From the 90s. From the 90s. I said I understand his school of thought from the 90s Bogboro. But what I wanted to say is that it's not by beating a child that makes the child better.
You didn't allow me to finish.
Oh no, okay, let's
corporal punishment.
Talk about it in this our next one.
Don't go and beat up any teacher.
Beat my child.
We will not defend you. If you go and fight.
No, that's not accepted. I told you that already. Well, before we end what's trending today, we'd like to celebrate our teachers and highlight their contributions to society in our Good News Report. Honoring teachers acknowledges their hard work and commitment and also reinforces the value of education and encourages future generations to appreciate and pursue teaching as a vital profession. This is what the Maltina Teacher of the Year Award Initiative has achieved for a decade. Well, on Monday, a teacher from Crown Grace School in Nasarawa State, SM Nofu Ifechukwu, emerged winner of this year's Teacher of the Year competition, making him the first teacher from Nasarawa State to win the award since its inception 10 years ago. Ifechukwu defeated over 1,476 other teachers from across the country who participated in the competition to emerge winner. As part of his prize, Ifechukwu received a cash award of 10 million naira, a gold trophy, an all-expenses paid training program abroad, and a block of classrooms or laboratory for his school put at 30 million naira. Let's take a look.
And the winner is
Esomnofu Chidiebube Ifechukwu. Congratulations.
Nasarawa State. To my destiny, I have waited patiently. Nasarawa State. Nasarawa State. Nasarawa State.
Stand up for the champion. Stand up. I mean, our teachers. I mean, this amazing initiative was designed to recognize, celebrate, and reward outstanding teachers in public and private schools across the country. I believe, you know, the Lagos State Governor was there. He made a huge contribution as well. What are we going to say? Congratulations to our teachers. And this initiative should be emulated by a lot of other foundations.
And the teachers' reward is here on earth.
Oh, yeah, not in heaven.
Thank you, Senator, too.
Yes.
To Nigerian Bureaus.
Yes, absolutely.
To the Felix Iwere Educational Trust Fund.
Absolutely, I love that.
MD Nigerian Bureaus and Shade Morgan and her team and all of them who made this.
Congratulations also to all of the teachers. Well, I'd like to thank you all. Very great analysis, as always, on What's Trending. That's all I have for you guys on What's Trending today. I'll see you all tomorrow.